Hey Playas, how you doing? Welcome back to another episode of Playas Guide. This episode of Playas Guide, I'm going to take a look at some of the different prices of some of the more rare and desirable Wii U games. As you may have noticed, certain games are on the rise and certain games have really gone down a lot in value. Let's see what's going on with the Wii U. Okay, so I'm going to be using Price Charting, a website I'm sure many of you are familiar with to look at some of these games, and eBay, because if you're buying games online, chances are you're probably using eBay, and eBay sales seem to be the most legitimate sales to reference on the internet in terms of global buying and selling and auction sites. By the way, I realize if you're watching this video, you're interested in video game collecting, probably for the Wii U. Even if you're not and you're watching this video, 93% of the viewers watching Playas Guide content are not subscribed to the channel. So I'm assuming you're somehow searching this video and finding it. Please consider subscribing to the channel for more content like this related to retro gaming and video game collecting. I've also started doing some videos exploring different stores, specifically rental stores and arcades that are kind of lost in time and shouldn't be forgotten. And if they ever are forgotten, I'm going to try to document those on this channel as well. But without further ado and getting into the whole ringing the bell notification and liking and commenting the video, those are all great. But you want to find out what's going on with the Wii U. That's why you've tuned in to this video. So we're going to start with Devil's Third, because I'm going to be looking at the North American collection. So Devil's Third has gone up here. We could see on the Wii U in PAL regions as well. But it's the top game here that we're seeing on price charting for the Wii U that is just like a standalone original release for a game. So this is a game that when it came out, most stores only got 1 or 2 copies. The stores I know that got it are the EB Games and GameStops, as well as Best Buy. The copy I have came brand new off Best Buy. I got that game for Christmas from my wife, but it was one that I was a bit concerned about when it came out, because there was a lot of hype. People were like, oh my god, the store only got 1 copy. Some stores didn't even get a copy. So there was a lot of speculation right out of the gate that this game was going to be rare. And it was one because I knew it was going to be exclusive to the Wii U and one of the more violent games. I was interested in it right from the get-go. But it got terrible reviews, very limited release. It's like Nintendo wanted to really not release it at all, but they had to because of contractual obligations that they made with the developer. Please correct me in the comments if I'm wrong, but I heard that the Devil's Third got a second release through GameStop. Now, I wasn't aware of any second or third release or re-releases in Canada, but this is something I had heard from people in the United States, that GameStop was reprinting it and you could get a second run of the game. I don't know if that's true or not. If you have more information, let me know in the comments below. But I do know there's a first release, and we think about how many GameStops and EB Games there are across North America. There's around 800 or something like that. At least at the time Devil's Third was released, that's how many there were, because I looked this up. So I was trying to figure out how many copies might be out there. It's really hard to say because Best Buy had some other stores might have got some copies. I'm not sure who. But if, let's say, each store got 2 copies at the most, there's 1,600 copies at least, just from EB Games and GameStop. It's probably a lot more than that. That's the North American version as well. Looking at eBay, we got some buy it nows. Sorry that everything here is in Canadian. But this one says brand new, $400. But as you can see, that is brand new. Like it's not brand new sealed. This has got the sticker on here. It's brand new, GameStop brand new, which for me, that's not new. You know, because I've seen games sitting on GameStop and EB Games shelves that are sun faded and torn, and they have this sticker that says new. That's not a new game. The game has to be sealed to be new, in my opinion. Wouldn't be that hard to slap a sticker on there that says new on the copy I have that I only played twice. Could very well be in better condition. Brand new sealed. Here's a brand new sealed one. They want $400. Here's another one. North American, $566. So $440. This one's probably, there you go, $350 US. That's a lot of money. That is definitely the most expensive standalone game on the Wii U right now. Did it get a second release? If it didn't, then it definitely should be. If it did get a second release, I don't know. That could be argued. Now, if you've seen my video on Wii U collecting, which I thought was highly accurate, it might have been at the time, I may, come out with a newer, updated Wii U collecting video with some of the rares, because the number one for the longest time was Hello Kitty Cruisers. So let's take a look at where Hello Kitty Cruisers is at today. Let's try this quick link to eBay, see how accurate that is. If it's not good, I'll just type it in and look at it. So it really started getting hyped up around 2017, 2016, 2018, and you're going to see that with a lot of Wii U games. This is when the console was being phased out. A lot of collectors already had pretty decent sized collections. I know I had bought probably 45, 50 games or so brand new during the console's lifespan, maybe even more than that, that I had played and, kept in good condition. And then I was like, hey, this console's done and there's only under 160 games at this point. I'm going for a full set, because why the hell not? I've already have a third of the collection, a fourth of the collection nearly. Might as well. And a lot of other people were thinking that too around this time. So there's a lot of speculation. Hello Kitty Cruisers was established at that time as the rarest game. Now this says CIB $139, but there were copies selling more for that. Price charting is the most accurate resource that is accessible to anybody publicly online. I really don't know of any others. There's Game Value Now. They're also very good and very accurate. But there was definitely copies listed for like $500-$600 and copies selling for around $300 at that time. That's US, Canadian, within that range. But the curve here is correct. It skyrocketed. It didn't really skyrocket. Like it climbed up and then skyrocketed, and then it kind of fell down and then all the way down to whatever it is here on eBay. Let's see. So here we have Hello Kitty Cruisers for the Wii U. Now this game got a release on the Switch. I wouldn't think that many people would be interested in Hello Kitty Cruisers, that would have an effect on the price, but you never know. That was a couple years ago. It got its release on the Switch, so it could have brought the price down. But I would think that anyone buying this game was buying it because it was rare. It's a pretty bland game. There's not a lot going on for it. I don't want to say it commands a bit of a premium. It kind of does, because it's not, as cheap a game as you would think it would be, but it's more readily available than ever on eBay. I mean, you're not seeing a ton of copies here, but there's enough that if you wanted to get a hold of one, you could, I saw one up here, $45, $47 at the top. You clean that up a little bit there. with the sticker on the label, $37 US. So pretty far cry from $300 that it was going for. What begs the question, is this game really as rare as I thought and many other people originally thought? Maybe not, or maybe it is, and we just got to wait a little bit longer to see what's really out there, because only time will tell. One that I thought would have gone up is Smurfs. This, I think, was in my top 5 rarest Wii U games. And to be honest, I do see this game time to time. I saw this game and Crudes today while out game hunting, and this one has kind of gone up in price, kind of stayed where it's at. Like, another game here that looks like it's readily available for the North American version. You can get a factory sealed copy if you want. This brand new, probably not sealed, probably, oh, that's a PAL. But you know what? If you want Smurfs 2, not too hard to come by. Definitely, I still think it's an uncommon game. I'm surprised it hasn't gone up a little bit more in value. I wouldn't think that was skyrocket, but this is kind of where Wii U is at right now. And I do want to say something here, that I'm seeing less and less Wii U games available. And myself, I'm going for a complete Wii U collection, and I've just been taking my time with it at a very relaxed pace, because the games are out there. There's not too many that I need. Any of the harder to find games, I pretty much have all of those in my collection at this point. So just picking up some different random stuff here and there. Today I picked up Skylanders, Imaginators. My son's into Skylanders and playing those games. I know they're older, but the Skylanders stuff's really cheap to pick up, and I always thought that those would be the easiest and cheapest games to pick up, and they are. And I've kind of left that kind of stuff to the end of the collection. I just haven't rushed to buy the stuff. But it doesn't look like a lot of other people are either, because Smurfs 2 sitting at about $30. So Crudes is another one here that I've talked about being a pretty rare game. But I've been seeing more and more of this game out in game stores. Not so much in the wild. The Wii U game stuff is thinning out. I think at the end of the year or in early 2022, we're going to see the Wii U stuff starting to climb in price. So some of these games might jump back up. So here's a pre-owned copy, $60. There's $48. $69. So not the cheapest Wii U game, and this game is terrible. It's almost unplayable. It's pretty bad. So seeing that price, it definitely still holds some value. I don't think that this one is as rare as I thought. This is something for sure that Devil's Third has the potential to surpass as being a much more rare game. But again, time will tell. Early predictions said that this was going to be a pretty hard to find game. Some other ones that were pretty hard to find is Turbo. So Turbo, that is European. This game seems to be more common in Europe, but North America, I'm not seeing it here. Let's go by the full name, the Stunt Squad. Turbo Stunt Squad. Here we go. Complete Brazil color. That's $233. Yikes. This one seems to be pretty rare. I've never seen a copy of this game in a game store. My copy came from Nintendo Age. Game & Wario, this is one I heard some people speculating about, but this is one that I see frequently enough that I thought that was just people throwing names out there and speculation, but we'll see. Then there's a lot of bundles here. You got to look at this special edition and bundles. We're not going to count that because it comes with a controller. If you're going for like a sealed collection, which won't be that hard to do right now for the Wii U, because this stuff, a lot of it is available still online. Yeah, okay, Wii Sports Club, that's an interesting one that's still up there, but that game is a game I feel there was some speculation about, but never really lost any value. let's see what's going on with that, and we'll get right back to this, to the Turbo Stunt Squad. So yeah, 2017, with the speculation that you're going to see this with all these games. There's the price hike there. It went up probably to a used copy to what a new copy would previously sell for, if not a little bit more. And it's almost back around there now, cooled off a little bit. But yeah, here, this is, I think that the Wii U collection is going to start ramping up soon, within the next year. Just watch, because I'm not finding as much stuff out there anymore. Let me know what you guys think. Maybe I need to kick things into high gear if I'm going to collect for that. So I'll get to the Game & Wario in a second. Yeah, here's the big spike. Everything here spikes 2017. You're going to see late 2016 to early 2018. That's where it spikes. Here's a game, yeah, $300, just like Hello Kitty Cruisers. This one was up there. People are saying second rarest game. Still very well could be second rarest or the rarest game. I did not see this game anywhere. I've never seen it anywhere. That's my experience. Really cooled off. Here you could have bought a whole bunch of them at this time if you were, really smart and wanted to resell the stuff. Now it's climbing back up. It's flirting with $200 now. I think it'll hit that maybe by the end of the year, especially if the Wii U gains momentum among collectors. It's very collectible because it has those Blu-ray discs that are more durable and have more longevity than other discs, and people are concerned about storage and disc rot and scratches and yada yada yada. It's a Nintendo, small library, solid console to collect for. Game & Wario, here we go. This is something that there was speculation here. I thought it happened a little bit earlier around here, but there's a little bit of a bump there. Maybe that reflects people thinking, hey, this game might be one of the more uncommon games. Never heard anyone say that it was going to be like the top 10 rare games, but given over time, it may establish itself here, because as the prices for these games increase, which they will, the rares will be more recognized because they will be harder to get. They will become more established, and it looks like this game is in, the boat to be one of those games, one of the more rare, desirable, and expensive games. It's a good game. It also hasn't been released on the Switch or anywhere else for purchase, so if you don't have it on the Wii U and you like these Wario games, there's some good ones on the Wii. You're not going to play them anywhere else. And a lot of the Wario games seem to hold their value. None of them seem too cheap. All the WarioWare stuff. So, decent games with a bunch of mini games. Very unique to what Nintendo has done with Wario. How rare this is, to be honest, I don't really know. I don't see it very often anymore. But, around this time when people were speculating about it, I did see it. I did see it around. We talked about Turbo. Another one of the games in my top 5 rarest games was Funky Barn. And this one, surprisingly, still holds quite a bit of value. It didn't go up much. It probably came down a bit. We can check this one on price charting to see what, they have to say over there. But, still not a cheap game. You're paying $100 for not a great game on the Wii U. So yeah, I would definitely say this is still a rare game. Okay, so quick look at Funky Barn here before we move along. 2016, 2017. This was the time of speculation. You can see it was selling for more, but it looks like it's selling for more now. So chalk this one up to a rarity. I think it's safe to say it took a dip like all these other games, but it's climbing up there now. So if I do a new Wii U rarity guide or collector's guide, which I will be, I can't say it's going to be too soon, but I will be doing one. So stay tuned for that. This game will be included, so you can expect to see this one. Now I'm going to take a look at Axiom Verge here. So Axiom Verge is a game that you can buy pretty much anytime digitally on any console for under $10 or around $10, and it got a really late release on the Wii U. There was, I guess, a bit of controversy surrounding the release of this game because the publisher and developer had worked out a deal where the developer was getting a certain percentage of sales, and then Limited Run Games bought the rights to release this game for a certain amount of time. Now, I don't know if the developer got their cut or if the publisher cut them out or what happened. I think there was some type of legal battle going on with that, but it took longer than expected for the publisher to be able to hash things out so that Limited Run Games could get the rights to release this game on the Wii U. That's my understanding why it took so long for it to be released. And when it did get released, it was basically being released because you can get a physical copy on the PS4 or whatever. It was basically being released now for the Wii U collectors, people like me going for a complete set. So here's what you got here. A lot of brand new copies online selling for a lot of money, or they're asking for a lot of money because, hey, my copy's still sealed too. I don't need to play it. This game was already a few years old when this game got this physical release on the Wii U, and the Wii U was a dead console. I don't even know if you could actually consider this a legit Wii U release because it was released after the lifespan of the Wii U. Or you could have considered this the last game to be released. But this is a lot of people trying to make money here off of the extra copy or extra copies they bought from Limited Run Games. So I feel as though this game has really been hyped up, and it's not that rare. Look how many sealed copies we have here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Any time of day, there's probably 7, maybe more copies. And those are all the North American Limited Run Games release. But there was another game. And that game is Shakedown Hawaii on the Wii U, which you could take a look at here. And you can see that this one also Competitive Premium sold for a little bit less than Axiom Verge, I believe. 2 different variant covers, but lots of brand new sealed copies available. Not really a hard game to get. The thing with the limited print games, though, is that they're sort of artificially rare. So you have a limited window where you can buy these games, and if you can't, then you're going to have to pay whatever price some resellers want. And they know because there's a limited quantity produced and there's only so much to go around, and you missed your window of opportunity, there's a profit to be made there. I mean, there's nothing wrong with reselling or what's happening here, but understand that, it's up to you if you want to count these type of games towards a complete collection or not. Now, if you go for Switch or something like that, it gets a hell of a lot more confusing. Same with the PS4. But for the Wii U, there's 2 games like this. I'm hoping we don't see too much more of this because, let the console be at this point. It is what it is. There's really not a demand for these games. Like myself as a collector going for a complete collection, I don't want them to be releasing, let's say they want to do some game like Don't Starve on the Wii U, or Mutant Mudds, or Fez, or something, like some older indie game that they could get the rights to and release it on the Wii U. Do gamers really want that? I don't think so. The collectors like me don't really want it, but you're kind of forced to buy these games because if you're going for a complete set, I think, after what was the last game to be released? Darksiders 2. or Darksiders War Mastered Edition. I think that was the last game to be released on the Wii. Or no, it would have been one of the Just Dance games. Because who knows, they may even still come out with another new one of those. Which I would consider, but, you know, it kind of is at the point it should end. Why keep dragging it out? But yeah, I think that these companies will, if they can make a buck, and then the resellers will put this stuff up here. So it's hard to gauge what a real value is of these or the rarity. But let's take a look at price charting. So Shakedown Hawaii. By the way, I'm looking at CIB for all the Wii U games because I think most disc-based stuff should be looked at, not loose disc and not sealed, but CIB would be the most desirable and common form of collecting for those consoles. It has gone up. So people who you know, the ship sailed on them, they missed their opportunity. They're paying a bit more, and they will. And I think these will continue to go up. I don't think that they'll skyrocket. I mean, I think, you know, in comparison to something like Devil's Third, that would be a true rarity compared to something that was, hey, we're only going to make 3,000 copies of this game because there's less than that many people who want it. All right. Let's look at DuckTales Remaster next. I got it pulled up here on the list because I was scrolling through some of the different prices and I wanted to pull this one up. So this remastered version, they took it off the eShop and you couldn't, or they took the DuckTales game off of all digital sales, and there really wasn't any other way to get the game to play it physically. So when that happened, which was, I guess, 2019, when we saw it more than double in price here, it became a $40 game. And then it dropped back down because I think there might have been some other way to play it. I'm not sure. Let me know in the comments below. Now it's back up to about $40. But that's kind of going to happen here because I see there's less Wii U stuff to go around. So anything that's uncommon or desirable in the next year, we're going to start to see that stuff go up in price. And that's when we can really start to establish some true rarity for these games. New Super Luigi Brothers U. This was one that started to get some speculation, I remember, just like Game & Wario, where it didn't get affected too much in price in 2016, 2017. But that was a high point for it. At that time, I was still seeing this game around, used copies everywhere. I didn't think it was that rare. Some people did. We'll see. Time will tell. This one sort of held its value. You know, it had a little bit of inflation there for a while, but I mean, we look at it as around $25-30. Was a little low, you know. 2019, 2020 was a good time to buy Wii U, but it's getting cleaned out, and I think it's headed back up to that range where it kind of peaked at before, and it might go above that. So looking through the list of games here on price charting, I'm just going to try to pull out a few that I see some higher prices on that surprised me. Some of the games that had a lot of speculation surrounding them before, and some of the games that I still do consider to be pretty rare and uncommon. So one of those is Cabela's Big Game Hunt Pro Hunts. And this one, I saw the price, and this one I was very shocked at. This was one people speculated about, but this one seems to be commanding a high price now, and it was low all along, like a $25 game here, and it's just been climbing and climbing. Jumped earlier this year, and it doesn't look like it's slowing down. Actually, I have that game. I think I have it sealed. Okay, so I do have that game brand new and sealed. I paid $28.89 for that. So that's a big win. I actually have quite a few Wii U games sealed because around that time, 2017, 2018, anything there's any speculation around that I saw a store was clearing out or still had some sealed copies and it wasn't like a $60-$70 game, I would pick it up. Like all the Lego games I think I got from Walmart for like $10, most of those are all still sealed because I'm not really interested in playing those games. So a quick look at eBay here. Those prices look like they're going to be pretty accurate. Price charting's doing a good job of keeping up with sales. Here's your average buy it now, $110 US. There you go. If you want to get this game, there's no sealed copies, so that's a good thing for me, but I'm not selling these games. I'm trying to collect them, so it doesn't even matter. Let's take a look though. What else do we have here that we could take a look at today? Tumblestone here, that was sort of a later indie release. Still, it's gone up a little bit. It's at $20. I got this one off Amazon, really cheap, sealed. Darksiders, which was one of the last games. Let's take a look at that because I pre-ordered that. And most stores, most EB Games and GameStop's got 1 or 2 copies, if any, of that game, and they sat on the shelf for like a year, maybe longer. So if that's the situation for Devil's Third, now this game didn't have the demand because this game was like this game was probably a decade old when it got its Wii U release. Nobody cared about it. Nobody was buying it for the Wii U. Devil's Third was an exclusive game to the Wii U, so it had some demand in that manner. But in terms of rarity, this game should be equally as rare, as far as I'm concerned. Maybe not, because I think Walmart and stuff got it too. I don't know if Walmart got Devil's Third, but EB Games, Best Buy, GameStop got about the same amount of quantity for this game, and it didn't sell as Devil's Third did. And we all know what happens to games that sit on a shelf and rot for a certain amount of time, and then guess what happens when they say, hey, we're not taking in and we're not selling Wii U games anymore? We know where those games end up. They end up where the kiosks end up. And that's probably where half of the copies of this Darksiders game are. I think that one will go up. I don't know. People don't want the game, so maybe it won't. Tombstone. Tombstone, a little bit more now. It's probably around here, maybe $13-$14 when I got this one off Amazon. This is one I've only ever seen a used copy once out in my collecting travels to different game stores and everywhere else. I don't see a lot of Wii U stuff at flea markets or yard sales or anywhere. It's really game stores that I see it at and on Kijiji Craigslist. But even that's slim pickings now. Here's one here. This is the last one I'm going to look at. NBA 2K13. Sorry, there's one more I want to look at. That's Mario Sonic Rio. NBA 2K13. This one, there's a lot of speculation around. Got kind of hyped up here, but it this doesn't reflect the hype that it had. I guess people weren't buying it. So this is the only basketball game on the Wii U. And I mean, that can be said for a lot of the sports games, really. And it didn't do great, but it's still, you know what, the price is low on this. I'd pick this one up and keep an eye on it for $20. If that's the going rate, why not? Here it says the complete price is $18, even lower. So if that's true, I don't know, go buy this one. I have seen it around. You know, I picked my copy up in the wild, but you do not see it that often. It is definitely an uncommon game. It's very hard to find. So let's check out that last one. Mario and Sonic at Rio. This one is an uncommon game at the very least. And this game had, I would say, the most speculation around it, regardless of the previous top 5. I think that might change. We'll see, because I'm kind of taken back at some of these prices. Some of them are like a lot higher than I thought they were going to be, and some stuff is a lot lower. And then other things are kind of like, look, they've smoothed out and now they're sort of on the rise. So here's Mario and Sonic at the Rio games. And here's the speculation period that it just kind of died down, lost all its momentum and hype, and the past 2 years you could have picked it up cheaper than ever before. But now it's pretty much back up to what a brand new game would cost you for a used copy of this game. Make no mistake, it's a Mario and Sonic game. How rare can it really be? It's definitely uncommon. So there's a few here. There's quite a few still on eBay. So it's pretty readily available. It's an okay game. If you're into the Mario and Sonic Olympic games, then you'll probably like this. I don't think this may have been the last Mario and Sonic Olympic game. I'm not too sure. I don't really follow that series. I have a bunch of those games. They were big for a while, but this one I know didn't sell very well, and just people didn't care about it. It was an interesting thing Nintendo did for a while, and it kind of fizzled out, and you know, this game sort of felt that wrath. So maybe didn't have the biggest print run, and I don't think anybody really cared about it. So there's still quite a few copies here available, so it can't be that rare. We'll see though. We'll see where this one goes. Thanks so much for tuning into this week's episode of Playas Guide. I hope you enjoyed it. I can go through some more prices for different games and consoles. If this is something you're interested in seeing, let me know in the comments below, and please like the video. You can catch Playas Guide on Twitch with nearly every day. There's going to be some different retro gaming content with some great talent. And you can find Playas Guide on Instagram and Twitter.